Hello everybody, this is Livery GT7 and welcome to the episode. In this episode is going to be a combination build using the RX7 FD above to Expressway and the mall with its Mazda 778B engine swap. So in this episode I'll be covering the full step process on how to get the car, the engine swap, this particular livery I have on hand, I'll show you guys that as well, and of course the two builds. So without any further ado, let's get started. So of course, the first stage is how to get the car. You can actually get this car at Brand Central. Now, I'm not too sure if this car, you can actually get this to in the main story campaign missions or not. But if you don't get that car in the missions, in that main campaign single player story mode, you can always get this car for about 250,000 credits at Brand Central. So I just recommend to save some credits before you do this. After you grab the car, what we're going to do is in fact add the Mazda 778B engine swap to this car. Now if you are level 50 like I am, I can easily purchase this, but if not, you can go to your tuning shop in your own personal garage, check and see if you have this particular engine in your tuning parts, and if you do, you should have a highlighted taskbar that's compatible. If you see that, just click on it, say install, and then yes, and then just like that, you'll be able to use a free voucher without having to be level 50 in the game. So here's the livery that I'll be using for this particular build episode. Looks pretty nice in the car. Now let's say if you do not want this particular livery on the car, but you would rather have the parts that comes with the livery, no problem there. I'll go ahead and share that with you right now. Now the one thing I did change was the rims. Here are the rims I actually used for this livery instead of the original rims from the livery. So if you just want to go ahead and just pause the episode and just make sure you just follow all the parts together for this particular build, which would be a really good idea. That way whenever you get this build ready, it'd be ready to go, especially for the Tokyo 600 build. So after you get all your parts together, we're going to go ahead and check out the first build at the Expressway. So you can see we got ourselves 400 tires, fully customized suspension, also fully customized differential. The downforce, those are the numbers right there that you'll need. The output adjustment 97, 70 for your power restrictor. Fully customized manual transmission at 280 kilometers. I didn't do anything special to the transmission, so what you see is what you'll get for the car. As we look at the other part of that list, you can see everything else is set to normal. The only thing I did add was increased bi-rigidity and racing collision flywheel, and that's going to be it for the build at Tokyo Expressway. So after you get the parts and stuff for this car ready up, we are now about to start the race with this particular engine swap. Now I do know that back in the day this car was actually a very fast car, if not the fastest car, shortly after the Tokyo actually completely got rid of into the game. Back in the day, if you were lucky and had that particular Mazda 778B engine swap, this car was to-go car. So this is way before the DB100, before the Honda Beat, and all kinds of other great cars too. I think today's meta, of course, is going to be the Subaru Type R99. So, and even back then, I think this car actually, if you compare the performance, this car, if you would have had back in its prime, is faster than the Type R. So just imagine that and just think about it, just knowing how good this car was back in the day before it really got nerfed because of doing all kinds of changes and all kinds of things added to the game. But for this particular car, the car itself isn't too shabby. I think the one negative thing about this car that I can think of is possibly the handling itself. It actually feels a bit weird. The front of the car does feel a little bit tight, a little bit of understeer, and then the rear of the car, if you're that hairpin, you can actually feel the rear tires actually struggling to have grip in that particular corner. But despite that, with these low to mid corner turns, the car isn't too shabby. And we actually do have a huge benefit in this car. It's going to be the fuel capacity, since we got that legendary Group C 778B engine into the car. That also comes with a fuel mileage as well, and you can see we're going to be well off in the green zone without having to worry about any fuel savings. So that's going to be pretty much going to be our huge card to use against the rest of the AI, since the AI have the pit. For us, we can just bypass it and just do 12 time trial laps around this track. But first lap, Not too shabby. We just peaked inside the top 5. I just kind of wish we were about at least 3rd or 2nd place in this race, but quite unfortunate we weren't able to get a bit further up the field than I was hoping for. As we complete our first lap, it's going to be a bit slower than our usual. It's going to be a 2:22, but fast forward to lap 3, the track does begin to dry up and the car actually does feel a little bit better and more manageable to drive. We're going to get ourselves a nice run out of this apex and get ourselves a nice clean pass on the Honda NSX and basically run away from it. Fast forward to what's going to be lap 8. It's going to be our official hot lap around this track. And as you can see from the lap time delta, we've actually been a couple 208s. It's been around that particular time frame. So the car is pretty consistent on lap times, even though they're not really too quick compared to other cars. But I'll let you guys watch this hot lap, and then I'll see you guys at the end of the race. Alright, as you saw, we did a 208.6, which isn't too bad of a lap time around this track. As we finish up, we did a 26:01 for our total time, which is not too bad either, even though there's a lot of cars today that can actually easily beat that. But figuring with this car and this combination, I thought it wasn't too bad of a deal. As you can see, we got ourselves our standard bonus as well, and that's going to be it for race 1. Now for race 2, nothing really changed a whole lot except for the build. Here is race 2's build. Now I do have racing mediums on the car, but I also would recommend, and if you guys go ahead and buy a set of inters, you can. And if you want to go ahead and just pretty much look at the rest of the numbers and just pause the menu, you can. But I kind of left everything as it was in the Tokyo Expressway. The only huge difference, of course, is the tires, the HP. And we went ahead and threw in weight reduction stages 1 through 3, and that's pretty much it, plus the racing brake pads and brake system, and you know, that's going to be it for the car. So nothing drastically didn't really change to the car. Should feel pretty smooth and easy to drive. And here's for a good example. Fast forward to what's going to be about halfway for the first lap. As you can see, we're easily making our way through the field. Now, unfortunately for the replay camera, you can't see what map we're at. We're actually in field map 1. We're going to be in this map for pretty much 9/10 of the race. But in map 1, the car is very, very quick. Not to mention, but the fuel itself is really impressive as well in this race. You could go very, very long depending on what map you're at. If you're map 6, I won't be too surprised if you can actually make it at least 7 to 8 full laps, depending on what your transmission's set on and how conservative you are with the car. But you can see, as before we approached that last chicane, easily took the lead away from the pack, and from that time on, we just basically ran away from it from everybody else in the track. So let's fast forward all the way toward the ending of the race, which is going to be lap number 5 to lap 6, this is going to be our, what I like to call our pit stop cycle. Now we're going to bypass lap 5, enter lap 6, and we're going to actually move our map number from 1 to 3. As you see that there, we didn't really change any of our driving behavior, so we kind of still drove aggressively as we did with map 1. And thankfully, as we entered pit road, we actually ran out of fuel, which was actually timed perfectly. So as we make our pit stop, all I'll be doing here is getting ourselves a fresh set of medium tires, get ourselves at least 2.5 laps worth of fuel, and just basically go through 2 laps just like that, and that's going to be it for our Le Mans run. This run was so good, we actually went ahead and put the whole pack a lap down, so the car very easy to drive, very dominant, of course. So this will be a amazing build to have, just to save, just in case if you're tired of racing to Expressway, or if this is going to help you a lot. Got ourselves that clean race bonus, and that's going to be it for the episode. So here's a quick preview of the next episode. It's going to be another RX7, except this time it's going to be the older version. And this was actually quite a unique request. This car is going to have, of course, the swap, the 778B swap, but we're going to do it at Sardinia. So cannot wait to show you guys what this car can do at this track. So I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode, and if you did, want to go ahead and leave a like. If you guys would like to check out the rest of the channel and like to subscribe to the channel as well, you're more welcome to do so. And make sure you turn that bell on for notifications. If you want to check out the last episode I did covered, there it is right there. If you want to take a little sneak peek and see what all that's about, you can. And with that all being said, hopefully you guys have a great rest of the day or night, where it might be. And I'll see you guys later, and take care.